Hi everyone, I'm going to give you a tip on how to remember what we have been discussing in the past 5 months regarding my series towards a new momentum. It's actually very simple. Just remember 4 words beginning with the letter M. So the words are motivation, motion, moments, and momentum. These words comprise the 4 important steps to finding our way towards a new momentum. Let's discuss them one by one. First, dream again. These talks about your motivation or dream, which actually tells you your why for finding a new momentum. Second, take action. You see, momentum requires motion. If you are doing nothing, particularly about your dream, your life won't gain momentum. Third, be inspired. The road towards success is never easy. Be sensitive to and take advantage of every moment of inspiration that comes your way. You would need them to keep you going when you hit snags along the way. And then the fourth, ride your momentum. In the context of our discussion, momentum is what I would call the series of success or chain of successes in one's life and career. He is on a roll. This is what we say when someone experiences a succession of breaks and breakthroughs in his life. And it's important to take advantage of this momentum. In other words, we need to ride our momentum. I love how John Maxwell describes momentum. He says the following words. Now, I would quote him extensively on this because this is very, very important. He says, why do I need to say that momentum really is a leader's best friend? Well, because many times it's the only thing that makes the difference between losing and winning. When you have no momentum, even the simplest tasks seem impossible. Small problems look like insurmountable obstacles. Morale becomes low, the future appears dark. And an organization with no momentum is like a train at a dead stop. It's hard to get going. And even small wooden blocks on the track can keep it from going anywhere. On the other hand, when you have momentum on your side, the future looks bright. Obstacles appear small and troubles seem inconsequential. An organization with momentum is like a train that's moving at 60 miles per hour. You could build a steel reinforced concrete wall across the tracks and the train would blow right through it. So these are the truths that John Maxwell wants to say about momentum. Number one, momentum is a great exaggerator. When things are going well, momentum makes them even better. When things aren't going well, momentum makes them seem worse. This is because when you have momentum, you don't worry about small problems and larger ones seems to work themselves out. Without momentum, even small obstacles seem insurmountable. Second, momentum makes leaders look better than they really are. You see, when you're winning, people are willing to overlook your shortcomings and forget about your past mistakes. The present and future are what matters. Number three, momentum helps followers perform better than they are. Because when you've got motivation, everyone is excited and motivated. As a result, the team plays better than the expectations. The law of Big Mo boosts everyone's morale and success. That's number three. Number four, momentum is more natural to steer than to start. An intrinsic part of the law of Big Mo is that it's hard to get going. But once you're moving, you can control where it takes you. Number 5, momentum is the most potent change agent. With enough momentum, any change is possible. People trust leaders with a proven track record and are willing to get on board with your vision once they see that you're taking them in a positive direction. That's number 5. Number 6, momentum is the leader's responsibility. Creating momentum requires a firm goal, a good team, and motivation, all of which the leader must establish. It is your responsibility to initiate momentum and keep it going strong. This is, of course, true if you have a team. But if you are somehow thinking, oh, I'm alone in my dream anyway, it's okay. It's your responsibility to produce that momentum in your life. And then this is number 7. Momentum begins inside of you, inside the leader. The law of Big Mo starts with a vision that you must believe in. And when you do, that belief becomes contagious. Wonderful words from John Maxwell. This is why I also believe that momentum is indeed our best friend. Okay, let's do a little activity here. I want you to think of times in your life when success was not merely sporadic, but rather steady and continuous. When were those times in your life when you had momentum? What were you doing right? How were you making so much progress? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. One of the key points that you will realize is this: you were enjoying momentum when you were focused. Focus is key. I remember a story of a bank selling insurance products. In the previous leadership, they were selling 40 million worth of insurance. This has been going for several years. And then another manager came in. And you know what happened? Because of this manager's strategic thinking and planning, they were able to sell 7 billion worth of insurance products. Can you imagine that? A leap from 40 million to 7 billion. Oh, I haven't told you the key. This is what the manager said. The key to us selling from 40 million to 7 billion is focus. Yes, we have many products, but I told them, this is what he said, I told them to focus on just 2. That's our key. I think these words have been attributed to Bruce Lee. He says, the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. Focus is key. And again, at this point, I would like to once again quote from John Maxwell, taking from his book Beyond Talent, the 4 points of focus. Here they are. Number 1, focus on your strengths. You see, focusing on weaknesses instead of strengths is like having a handful of coins, a few made of pure gold and the rest tarnished copper. and setting aside the gold coins to spend all your time cleaning and shining the copper ones in the hope of making them look more valuable. No matter how long you spend on them, they will never be worth what the gold ones are. Go with your greatest assets. Don't waste your time. Hmm. Great, isn't it? Next, number 2, focus on today. Just as you should keep your focus off yesterday, you shouldn't have it on tomorrow. If you're always thinking about tomorrow, then you'll never get anything done today. That's number 2. Focus on today. Number 3, focus on results. Anytime you concentrate on the difficulty of the work at hand instead of its results or rewards, you're likely to be discouraged. Dwell on the difficulties too long and you'll start to develop self-pity instead of self-discipline. That's very, very true. And your attention will become scattered instead of focused. So focus on results. And then finally, number 4, focus on your priorities. If you want to develop your talent, you need to focus. If you're going to focus, you need to work on knowing what your true priorities are and then following them. Don't let an overload of information or to-dos hinder you from truly being productive. Be selective where you spend your time and energy. As leaders, we cannot do it all. However, we can and should delegate. Figure out what is most important to you and filter everything you do through your top priorities. Let me add here John Maxwell's law of priority, and he gives us 3 R's when it comes to priority. I love how he defines his law of priority. This is how it goes. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Let me repeat that. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. So we need these 3 R's of priority. 3 questions actually. Number 1, what is required? What is required? What must I do that nobody can or should do for me? Delegate even the necessary, but is not required. That's number 1. Number 2, what gives the greatest return? Again, this is focused on strength. Work on areas of your greatest strength. Get out of your comfort zone, but stay in your strength zone. And then finally, number 3, what brings the greatest reward? What is it that you really love to do? And I love this quote from Tim Redmond, president of Redmond Leadership Institute. There are many things that will catch my eye, but there are only a few things that will catch my heart. Wow. So, you need to know where you need to focus on. What are your strengths? What are your priorities? In conclusion to this series, let me tell you these words. Momentum might have been what you had before COVID-19, but let me encourage you with these words. Momentum will come once again if you keep on keeping on. Begin anew. Start from your original or maybe your new motivations and then go for it. Set yourself in motion. And as you do that, be consistent, Be persistent, be focused, and you will soon find your moments, your breaks and breakthroughs in your life and career. Then you will gain the new momentum that you are looking for. May the Lord bless you as you find your new momentum. And I believe you will find it. God bless.